Thank you so much, Mark. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you and Nick and watch the dedication that you've shown for this project. It's really great that John's work is being recognized in this way. And I can only imagine what Nick was going through when he was going through all of those boxes, and because John was fastidious and he was meticulous and he saved everything. So I met John before I started grad school. Actually, I was thinking about applying to graduate school in architecture, and somebody had suggested that I take his photography class as a non-matriculated student at the University of Washington. And so I did that. And the first lecture with John, I have to say, was a little bit intimidating. He is a very direct person, and I thought, I wonder how this class is going to go. And then I talked to him in person in the photo lab, and I just realized that he was a softie, and he was, so generous with his time, so generous with his students. I mean, he could have done so many things with his talent and brilliance, but he really enjoyed the students and being at the university, and that was really a gift that he gave to the school and to all of us that were able to take classes from him. John was, a very eclectic person. He was a scientist as well as an artist, and I think that he married those disciplines perfectly. He was so kind of singularly focused in the way he did his work, and so technically precise, yet there were times where you could break the rules. And he had very, it was just very awe-inspiring to learn from him, and I really, really appreciated that. I didn't know John as well as many of you did, but we did keep in touch. I would see him every few months or so, and we would chat, and it was always a really great experience, and I miss him. I mean, it was really difficult to learn of his passing. I was working at the Miller Hall Partnership at that time, so there were several people in the office that knew John well, including Dave Miller, of course, who was the chair of the department at the time. I will say also, it was just clear that he was so dedicated to his craft and to humanity, and it's really, there needs to be more people like John in terms of how dedicated he was. And my remarks are not very well prepared, but I was thinking about this as I was walking over, and I came to realize, when we're talking about serendipity and how things come to happen, it's very likely that if I had not taken John's class, I would not be in Seattle. And this has been my home for more than 20 years now. And when I was making the decision to which grad school to go to, it was a hard decision, but I had taken John's class. And so I just thought, if the caliber of the instruction is anywhere close to John's class, this is the place for me. And so now I've been here more than 20 years, and I guess we can blame John for that. So, well, and thank you very much. Right now, do you want me to talk about the Market Commons? I am working on the Market Commons. I'm the architect for that project with my firm. It's a small studio. It's called Studio MGL. And there have been tons of serendipitous moments, just like what Mark said. Crystal Dixon, who is the manager for the Market Commons, mentioned that there is going to be this exhibit, and mentioned John Stamets. And I said, oh, John, I took classes with him. He's a great, that is going to be the perfect exhibit. And so she set me up with Nick and Mark, and I think it's going to be a wonderful tribute to him. We think in September. Yeah, we've had a few setbacks, but just, nothing major, but time delays, yeah.
In terms of this exhibit,
Mhm.
you had a chance to have actually seen
Yeah,
it.
they did a great job with the printing, yeah.
And how long after the March Commons opened did we debut the exhibit?
Not sure. I actually just had a meeting about that today for the partitions. I'm not sure when those will be installed.
So
Well,
we'll just keep it here
yes,
after
yeah.
that.
Mark, thank you so much for asking me to speak.